It's time for the Brouhaha Sports Show. Brouhaha Sports with award-winning sports writer Dale McKee and co-host Marshall Wood. Talking sports with the legends of the game and famous sports personalities. Brouhaha. Now to Marshall and Dale with tonight's guest.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Tuesday, Dale. What's going on in Dale's world these days?
Hey, man, things are pretty good. Did you see that golf tournament yesterday? That was a pretty good golf tournament.
The golf tournament, they playing golf? Who in the world did playing golf this time? It wouldn't be something like called the Masters, would it?
Well,
what do you think about the Masters?
I thought it was I think that boy shined.
Yeah.
I mean, Scotty's won 4 tournaments in 57 days.
That's pretty doggone good.
I think it's great.
Yeah. He's what you call on a roll.
Yeah, he's in the zone, right?
Yeah, he's in the zone, baby.
Yeah,
he's in the zone. I'm a Tiger fan. I got to admit it. And I was glad to see him out there. You know what? I didn't think he got out there, but he slugged his way around, and man, he drug that leg all the way around all 3 days.
Well, I got a friend, a sports writer, and we've interviewed him before here, Billy Watkins.
Yeah.
And he tells me in a Facebook post yesterday, if I can find it here, if people will bear with me, he was trying to tell me how many people that he beat.
That Tiger beat?
Yeah, yesterday. He beat people like Jordan Spieth, okay, Justin Rose. I mean, these are the good young golfers of this day. He outdid them yesterday in this tournament. Sam Burns, Adam Scott.
Wow.
Okay, and
that puts a different perspective on it.
Yeah, I mean, and this was, to him, it was an unbelievable achievement, quoting him, to walk a course of hills for 4 days in a place where caddies get shin splints, and not only walk it, but play respectively against younger competition.
Yeah. You know, Tiger, in my mind, he's the GOAT. And he ain't going to go away easily. He will not go quietly into the evening, shall we say.
Well, and he's 46 years old. I've had, the great opportunity. I saw him play at Torrey Pines in San Diego back in 2008.
Yeah.
It was about 14 years ago. He was 32 at the time. He looked like a football linebacker.
Yeah.
They say bench presses 300 pounds.
Whew.
How much can you bench press?
Well, the last time it was 325.
Three.
But now I ain't benched 325 in a number of years, in about 10 years. So,
Gotcha.
But now, Tiger ain't got nothing on me.
Yes.
I was 52 when I did it. Let's see him do it when he gets 52. But anyway, hey, I'm a Wood. I'm not a Woods. But without the S, me and Tiger, we just like this.
I think I need to start nicknaming you Tiger.
Tiger Wood.
And then people.
Boy's got a nice ring to it.
Are you really Tiger Wood? Yeah.
Hey, I'm it.
I bench press 300.
Hey, you can interview me anytime.
Yeah.
You got any questions for me now?
No.
Well, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Who's our guest tonight on the show? What we're doing right now?
You don't want to surprise people. You really want to just get into it.
No.
Hey, listen, I really am impressed with this young man.
Yeah.
I call him young man because he's younger than us.
Well, everybody's younger than us.
But he is the athletic director at Jackson State.
Yeah.
And if you just look at his resume of people he's hired to be head coaches,
Man.
and how he's changed.
He's a big deal.
The way people play football now in the historical black colleges and university. He hired Deion Sanders, Coach Prime.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell us in our segment what went into that.
Yeah.
He's got a great story. But Jackson State's just not good in football. He's got good coaches in every single sport now, So he's doing a heck of a job. He's got a girls basketball coach that's probably going to get a big time job because she's gone undefeated in the SWAC last 2 years, and they played very well down at LSU in the NCAA tournament, but before losing and they actually had a lead with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So I'm just really impressed with him. I really am. His name is Ashley Robinson.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I know looking back, I don't know what you know, but I'm going to know some of what you know after we talk to Ashley. But I know it's a great guest you got lined up. That's just what you do. And we're going to get to him shortly. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor, and then we'll be back with tonight's guest right after the break.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Welcome to the show, Ashley Robinson. How are you today, Coach?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I want to introduce you again to our guest. This is Ashley Robinson. He's the athletic director at Jackson State. Ashley, right now, spring sports are going. How are all the Tigers doing, Lady Tigers doing in the spring sports?
Doing well. This year, right now we're at 5 SWAC championships last week. Our women's tennis just clinched their second straight regular season title. So, it's very exciting for them. But, our Tigers are doing well. Football did well in the fall. Volleyball won again in the fall. Men's cross country won. And then women's tennis just won as well. So, very excited right now. We still have a couple more sports to go with softball and baseball and outdoor track and finishing up, our season. So teams are doing really well. 13 championships since 2018.
Wow.
They're not only doing well on the field and on the court, but they're also doing well in the classroom. Team GPA is over 3.0 and an 88% graduation rate. So that's good. Doing well on the court, doing well on the field, and also doing well in the classroom as well. So I'm very proud of my student athletes and very proud of my coaches.
Hey. Well, listen, when you gonna take a break? June, July, or when do you break?
Well, June or July for me. I tell people, a lot of people look at that, deal as vacation time. But that's my, our staff. We get together and do some retreats, and that's our time to plan and implement some new things for the next upcoming year. So we still got a lot of work to do here at Jackson State. I'm still hungry. Not full yet, so you just received the appetizer. We still got a lunch, you still got an entree, and we still got a dessert to do. So we got a little bit more work to do. So we're gonna continue to work, and I enjoy being around sports. I enjoy being around my athletes. So that's my break. That's my vacation. Seeing that smile on my student athlete's face and seeing them successful and seeing them to have a good experience at Jackson State University. So that's my break and that's my vacation.
Well, now the Tigers and Lady Tigers are doing great in the All Sports Trophy. Aren't y'all still leading in the SWAC conference for that All Sports Trophy?
Yeah, we're still leading. We're still first right now with 4 sports to go, so we're still up on that, and we're looking to bring that home. So that Commissioner Cup, I think, is good, and if our sports continue to compete and do well, we should have no problem winning that cup.
Hey, that's great. Hey, listen, let me just ask you. This is kind of a thrown-in question here, but is the SWAC considered the SEC of the HBCU?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, Dale. Our Commissioner Charles McCullough. I don't know if you had a chance to meet him or talk to him. He's from Jackson, Mississippi. He's took over last 2 years, and he's doing job. He has really turned the conference around from a sponsorship standpoint, from a perspective standpoint. He's on the D1 basketball committee, so he's doing a really, really good job, along with the leadership of our presidents, the athletic directors, and the school. We are considered. I could say that's a good one. You could say the SEC of sports of HBCUs, but SWAC is doing a really, really good job, and very excited about the future and where we're going. We got some great leadership. And, in order to be successful, you have to have great leadership. And we have great leadership with our commissioner and our presidents of this great conference.
Well, listen, y'all have 12 teams. Am I correct on that in the SWAC right now?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Now, can you see the SWAC expanding in years to come to 12, 14 or 16 teams or something like that? Or is that in the plans?
I can tell you, we added 2 teams here, with our Florida schools, with Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and I can tell you it's very attractive. Like I said, the The commissioner has a vision. I can see it expanding. I can see a lot of schools, joining the SWAC. So I can see I can see expansion in our future in the next couple of years.
Well, I'm just like before we came on the show, we talked a little bit about all the championships that the Tigers have won. You won your first football championship since I think 2007. Is that correct? And from the SWAC.
That's correct. That's correct.
And then your girls basketball. They may be your golden jewel right now. They won 3 straight SWACs, 2 undefeated seasons, and a couple NCAA fights. And Lord, they played as good as ball games anybody could play against LSU down there on their home court. And then you got your tennis team, your volleyball team, your cross country, your baseball team last year was undefeated and had the worst luck of any team I've ever seen. Right? Had to come down with one game in the tournament, right? I mean, Coach Johnson is a consistent winner up there. I followed him. He's a consistent winner for you.
Yeah, he's doing a really, really good job. And I have some amazing coaches. He's doing a really, really good job in all our sports. But Coach Johnson, he's got over 15 years experience, and he's a really baseball guy. He does a really good job with that sport.
Well, listen, you got a knack for, seem like, I guess, everybody thinks the only head coach you've ever hired is Deion Sanders, but you hired some great coaches to pair of you, and you basically built their sports facilities for them while you were AD over there from 2013 to 18. Is that correct?
That's correct. And all those coaches are doing really, really well. Matter of fact, we met one of them at the championship game. And then my other coach from Florida A&M got a first round Division I playoff bid. So those coaches are doing a really, really good job. I think that comes there from my background in playing sports and being a point guard. It's not any true point guards anymore. It's combo guards. I was a true point guard. So I think that taught me a lot about leadership and how to lead. But coaching is a passion. Mm-hmm. And I have a special touch when I see coaches, and I know the ones that's very aggressive and want to win. And I like aggressive coaches. I tell people all the time, if you're not aggressive, your kids are not going to be aggressive, and they're not going to take that aggressive approach. But also, you want to have a coach that has some integrity and have great character and understand how to build young men and young women outside of sports. So, that's some of the vision and the goal that we have for our coaches. But we have some really, really good coaches. We've made some really, good hires. But also you have to have good leadership and support around you to be able to support your coaches and your student athletes. And for me as an athletic director, my job is to support my coaches and my student athletes and give them what they need to be successful.
Yes. Now, everybody's going to want to know this, and I know you probably answered this question. How many days in a year? Probably 12 times a day, every day of the year.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about the football hire that you made here about a year ago.
Hiring and coaching is all about relationships. And I was able to meet Coach Sanders. My time in Texas, I was there, over 12 years, and had an opportunity to meet. We had mutual friends, and to meet him and talk to him. And the story about Coach Sanders, he's coached all his kids through high school. And, I tell people timing is everything, Dale. It's everything. And his last son, which is quarterback now, was a senior, graduate. And there's no better time to say, Coach Prime, I know you want to coach your son. Continue to coach your son. So, let's figure out a way to make that work. It was just perfect timing. And we talked and had opportunity to reach out and have conversations with him. And Coach Prime understands the tradition of Jackson State. He knew the history of Jackson State, and he really wanted to be here. He really wanted to make a change. So we got together, and we made it happen along with President Hudson. We made it happen here at Jackson State, and that's the short-term story, how the things happen. But it's all about relationships and all about timing. Coach Prime's passion that he has for making changes and impacting young men and young women, it's phenomenal. And that's what it's all about. Everything that we do is about our students and about our student athletes. And when you have coaches with that passion, everything he's done, he's been a winner. He's a Hall of Famer, best athlete of all times. How would you not look at a Deion Sanders when you're talking about, building the program, and we've hadn't had success in 2007. And believe it or not, I won't say Coach Sanders probably one of the quickest turnarounds. We won a SWAC championship in 1 year. Coach Sanders was hired September 21st, 2021. He started work in December 2021. We had a spring season in 2021, and we won a championship in fall of spring season 2022, and we won a championship in fall of 2022. So that's a year time. He really turned around and really did a really good job for us, and just changing the culture of perception and what people think. We got to change their perception of what people think about HBCUs. Jackson State is great, very unique. Over 50,000 fans. We're very passionate, have a rich tradition, more Hall of Famers than anybody in the state of Mississippi. That's the tradition of Jackson State. When you come in my office, you'll see Lem Barney, you'll see Walter Payton, you'll see Jackie Slater, and you'll see Robert Brazile. So why not add another Hall of Famer that played the game, best athlete of all time, as your head coach? Yeah. So I see a perfect fit. I saw a perfect fit. And as you see now, we're having some great success with Coach Sanders on and off the field.
Well, listen, how do you keep these great coaches now that you have them? I mean,
you know that's the hard part. Especially now. Coaches is very popular. And coaches are reaching out. There are coaches. Coach Reed, our women's basketball coach. I mean, phenomenal. 3-year, 3P, 2-year NCAA tournament. Take the coach of the year down to the wire, up by 10 with 4 minutes. She's done a really good job of building that program and recruiting and growing Jackson State. And before she came, we had won a championship in men's and women's basketball 2007, 2008, around that time, 2010, I would say. But she's done a really good job changing the culture of that program, and she's competitive across the board. She's competitive with Power Fives. We have a really good team, and she's built that program, and that's the good part. We have to continue to kind of stay consistent, continue to grow our facilities and build on the success we have. But the work starts now, so that's when the hard work starts. We start having success. I want to be consistent. We want the team to make our coaches happy and give them what they need to be successful. So that makes my job hard, but that's part of my job. That's what I have to do as an athletic director.
Well, listen, let me ask you just a little secret, okay, about these ADs, okay? Now, do you have a secret list right now? Okay, if so-and-so leaves, I'm going to maybe approach this person, or do y'all just wait till it happens?
Well, you always want to be prepared, as an athletic director. Everybody has a short list. Yeah. But I'm a little different when it comes. I'm very loyal to my coaches. I don't talk to other coaches about positions when we have a coach in that position, because I just think that's not fair, to my coach. But, coaches, they let you, I have a good relationship enough with my coaches to know, when they're thinking about, taking another job or think about retiring, for just like Coach Brent. Coach Brent told me in February he's retired. So, of course, I had to get my short list together, and we hired Mo Williams. So, all ADs, good ADs, are going to have a short list in every sport, to answer your question.
Did you know how much effect your hire of Dion would have on the rest of the HBCU's team, like a Hugh Jackson coming to Grambling and Eddie George taking a Tennessee State job? Did that enter the picture, or did you never realize what domino effect that you had on the rest of the sports world?
Well, I knew it would be big. I told people when I made this hire, regardless if it was FCS or Power 5, it was one of the biggest hires in the country. And the impact will be big. Did you think that it will, open up doors for, other professional athletes to come to HBCUs? At that time, you really didn't know, but I knew it would be big. I knew it would have an impact, because I knew what his vision and goal was. His goal was to shed a light on HBCUs and show that we had athletes and show that we can do things just like anybody else can. And he came in and it ended up being really big. Not only was it big for Jackson State, but it was big for all HBCUs, and just changing the culture and changing the way we think and changing the way we do business and how we handle things, and also changing the hiring, process and who we hire and who we hire and why we hire. So it really did. It made a big impact on it, not just on Jackson State, but I think it made an impact on the country. All levels when you come to college professional and professional. You see a lot of professional athletes now. Not only did they make an impact of them on the coach, but a lot of professional athletes that want to help HBCUs, and a lot of corporate sponsors that wanted to come in and make a change and see that change to support, our HBCUs and support them. So I think he shed a light on everyone, and he made it big for everyone to get support and to make sure that, to show people that things can be done at HBCUs, and also, that he was willing to help. And he took a chance to really come out and to help not just Jackson State, but all HBCUs and FCS programs.
Yeah, actually, this is Marshall Wood. I want to say something, too, about your position and the job you're doing. I guess I want to toot your horn a little bit. I'm a big believer that the success of any athletic program lies with the coaches. I mean, we got kids that can run and jump all over this world. But, to get them going in the right direction, get them that 3.0 team GPA, that 80% graduate weight, and then get them to perform on the field, the administration gets those coaches. You've done an outstanding job in going out and get, the power programs, no matter what level or what you want to call them, what division, whatever, you can always go back, and it's the coaching, man. And I mean, y'all are doing a great job up there bringing top flight coaches in. It's really a blessing and a pleasure to see, and it makes me, Mississippi, proud. I thank you for what you're doing up there.
All right,
and I appreciate that.
Ashley, I agree with him. I mean, you're the national coach, athletic director of the year. That's pretty
good,
right?
That's pretty good.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's a very big impact. And of course, us sports writers, we love a Will Hall and a Leach and a Kiffin, and now Deion Sanders in the same state. Come on, man. That's like going to a party, man.
Right.
You can get quotes everywhere.
Absolutely.
You can get him in the bathroom, it's just great. Thank you for bringing him in too. Well, listen, talk about
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Tell us about your schedule in the future. I saw Tennessee State's going to play Notre Dame, and I know that you have a philosophy on your coaching, and really I would like to ride the buses with you to Daytona Beach and Jackson, Miami, and
right.
All those places you go, Memphis, Houston. I mean, you've got some great places to play in venues. Tell us about your home schedule next year.
Home schedule, very excited. We're going to have Grambling on campus. We're going to have Mississippi Valley on campus. We're going to have an FCS opponent, Campbell University, on campus for homecoming. I don't know if you know Coach Mentor. He's played in the NFL along with Coach Sanders, and then we have Southern University coming on campus, and then we'll take one of our home games to Mobile against Alabama A&M, home of our Hall of Famer Robert Brazile.
Yes.
So we're going to take that game down there. So we got great 5 home games. I encourage everyone to come out. We averaging over 40,000 fans a game. Great atmosphere, great game day experience. You'll see some great football. So we're very excited. Like Grambling, Valley, Campbell, and Southern, and we're expecting all our games to be 50,000 strong. So we want to encourage everyone to come out and not only come to the game, but come in on Friday evening and do a little tailgate, eat a little barbecue, have a little fun. And then we'll get up the next morning and watch some football, and then we'll win some games, and then we'll have a little bit more fun. The experience is exciting, so just give it a weekend. Try the weekend, Dale, and y'all come down, and I guarantee you, you will enjoy it, and you have a good experience.
I've been to about 3 or 4 Jackson States over my career in sports writing and radio announcing, and it was always a delight to go to. But the best part of me is you can't leave your seat during halftime. Because if you
that's right.
You get a show.
Sonic Boom of the South.
Yeah, you get a show now. There ain't no doubt about it. Old Sonic Boom lighted up. We need you to convince the Sonic Boom to come down to our area during Christmas.
It or not, that's right. Believe it or not, the Sonic Boom is a big part of our success. I mean, we have a lot of Sonic Boom alumni, a lot of fans that come to the football game to see the Sonic Boom of the South. And Dr. Little and his leadership is doing a great job. And I always give kudos to the best band in the country, the Sonic Boom of the South, and we love what they do. We really do appreciate them. And if you ever want to see a good halftime show, you're absolutely right. come to a Jackson State game and keep your seat during halftime.
You got to. You got to. Well, listen, we are blessed to have you on the show today. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing, but we're out of time, and I hate that.
All right.
Because I didn't get through half my questions here. I didn't get through half my questions, so we're gonna have to call you again maybe in about a year, and just kept up with the big improvements you're going to be doing. You've already done some great ones up there. So everybody here in the Pine Belt, we congratulate you again for being National AD of the Year. And we're also happy that Jackson State decided to extend your contract for more years.
There you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Keep it around. You keep doing that hard work and keeping Jackson State flagship and things of that. And you're much appreciated by all Mississippians for your effort.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
thank you so much, and thank you all for having me. And anytime you all want to have me on, I'm open and welcome to be on. So thank you all so much, and I love what you all are doing.
Thank you very kindly. Well, and you can expect to hear from us again. That having been said,
No problem. I'll be ready.
Yes, sir. Thank you kindly. Goodbye now, sir.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Folks, that was the athletic director from Jackson State University, Ashley Robinson, of course, and our time has come to an end for this segment. Dale and I are going to take a break to hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be back with the final segment of the Brouhaha right after the break.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Welcome back, everybody. Dale, I tell you what, you were right. Man, that guy's got it going. That guy's got it going on.
He's doing a great job, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, and what he's doing is having an effect not only in Mississippi, but what he's done is stepped out. And, and you mentioned it in the interview with some of the other HBCUs that are stepping up and raising. I mean, he's inspired folks.
He has. He has really changed the culture of that whole
division.
Yeah. Because, used to, hey, we can't sign the number one recruit in the country. We can't get a Deion Sanders to coach, and they've got an Eddie George and a Hugh Jackson and no telling who else around the country. Doing a great job.
Doing a great job. Let's turn our attention back to a little closer. I'm gonna reel it in a little bit, and I'm gonna go to Dale. We're gonna talk about you for a minute. Dale, we don't talk about this enough, and you're. I mean, we all know that you're a 40+ year sports writer, and decorated is the word I'll use, and I mean that respectfully. I really do. We poke and joke and have a lot of fun, but what anybody's been doing anything 40 years, I mean, that's a task in itself. I've never done anything but live for 40 years. But, you call them, and you got a sideline view that you write, and we put it on, the Brouhaha page every week. You get it out to 40-something newspapers and all that kind of stuff. But, I noticed you mentioned some things in your article this week, and it's big news for us around Mississippi, and that's the new deal with the Mississippi High School Activities Association and the new classification they're adding. They're going, you correct me if I'm wrong, they're going from 6 to 7.
Right.
They're going to have 7 classifications: 7A, 6A, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I almost forgot the 1. Now, historically, that means instead of having 8 teams in our district, there's going to be 12. There's going to be 12. We're not sure. Let's just say we're 5A, Wayne County, for example. Let's just say there's going to be 12 teams in the South.
Right.
So that's going to mean there's going to be 6 instead of 8 in each district.
Right.
So we'll have playoffs. When the playoffs come around, are we going to still have the same number? How's that going to work? We typically have the 4 teams out of 8. Half of the teams would go. But now we're only going to have 6 teams. Are 4 still going to go, or are they going to change that, drop it to a lower number? How's that going to work from a playoff standpoint with the new classifications?
Well, it'll still be the 4 teams. I mean, the percentage, I think in my column that I quoted Mr. Ricky Neves, and he said that that this will, I think, give us a more percentage of teams been able to make the playoffs.
Well, 4 is a bigger percentage of 6 than it is of 8.
Sure.
So it's going to go to from 50 to probably what, 60?
60-something percent. But you know, the smaller schools have always had that. I say 4-3 and 2A, and it's worked well for them now. Yeah. At times now, I mean, you're going to get some teams with losing records in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the only down about it, but you can't avoid that. But honestly, if you look at it, I don't think that you're ever going to close the gap. I mean, Tupelo has been the largest school in Mississippi. Tell me what they've won, except for maybe cross country and what else?
It's been a while now. I remember back in the day. I'm talking about in the '60s. You know, when I mean, they dominated everything.
Well,
you know,
I know that.
But now this ain't the '60s. This is now. That was then, and this is now. But recently, no. So
yeah. So Oxford was sitting there almost at the bottom of 6A, and they won state championship. You know, they had like 32 teams in it, and Oxford was maybe the 30th in enrollment, and they won the state. Mm-hmm. Look at West Point. I don't care what division they play in.
They're going to win it.
They're going to win it.
Sooner or later.
So, and they're just middle of the pack in 5A, you know. So I'm not sure, but I think, it's like everything else, Alabama did it. And of course, Texas has 8, and they even have divisions within their 8. Of course, they're so huge, it's unbelievable. And I'm not comparing ourselves to Texas, but we're similar to Alabama in a lot of regions, and they go to 7. I think that it's going to give more teams a chance. It might even it out, but in the end, I mean, Mississippi High School is going to have another state championship in every sport, and that has to be money for them, which means the schools will have to pay less money to them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a win-win. Plus the state championships are divided amongst the teams in there. So it's like, I think schools and the MHSA will all, benefit from this.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how the new districts fall out. Of course, here with what we're familiar with is Wayne County. We go to the coast, and then the next time we come back up here to the Pine Belt, and then the next time we go to the coast. So we really don't know where we're going to wind up, but I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to play wherever we are.
Sure.
Because that's just the way we roll here in Wayne County.
Yeah. I think, I just think that's going to, I think that's, I like the district that Wayne County's in now because of because they're old established rivalries over the years. I mean, we were playing Natchez 20 years ago, Brookhaven and all those schools, and now it's they were back with us, and it is a long trip, but the coast may be quicker for us. I'm not sure, but it's always good to go down there to the coast and eat. But you know what? I always find a place in Brookhaven and Natchez to eat.
Yeah. You do? You eat?
Yeah, I like to. There's a pig out place in Natchez. You got to visit it.
Well, I tell you what, I'm kind of notorious. When I travel to a lot of football games, I hadn't missed a game in a number of years, like this century, for Wayne County. But I'm kind of with the crew that rides with me. We don't eat. We go to the game. We're
all business.
Man, we business.
All business.
We business. We don't fool around with eating business.
I usually have to take. I usually have to take, but a lot of times there's this guy named Jason Sehan, Paul King.
Oh yeah.
Go with me.
Oh yeah. Boy, you'll go with anybody you want.
They like to eat.
Well, listen, Dale, I got a question. First, an age-old question. Where does the time go?
Well, time is something that you can't catch up with.
Yeah.
It's just like sleep. People say, well, I didn't get enough sleep last night. Well, guess what? You'll never make it up.
Yeah.
You'll never make it up.
Well, that kind of applies to us right here. We're out of time. Ours is done for the night. And I want to tell everybody to be sure to follow us on Facebook and YouTube at The Brouhaha. And tonight, stay tuned after Dale and I sign off for the War Eagle Football Show with head coach Jack Hankins. But now it's time to say goodbye, Dale.
Goodbye, Dale.
Dale and I'll see you next week for more of The Brouhaha. Take us out of here, Jamie.
You've been listening to The Brouhaha with Dale McKee and Marshall Wood. Heard Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. on WABO. For more of The Brouhaha, follow us during the week on Facebook and WABO.